Hawai'i Sports Radio Network on 95.1 FM and AM 760 presents Wake Up in the Den with Ku'ule Agbayani.
Good morning, BEA, beautiful people. It's Wake Up in the Den. I'm Ku'ule Agbayani. Right across the Paul Brecht, and you're listening on the Hawai'i Sports Radio Network. Last time you'll hear us on 95.1 FM and AM 760, but you can keep hearing us on hawaiisportsradio.com or on demand wherever you get most podcasts, and also coming soon, the new HSRN app. So a lot of stuff with you guys, a lot of changes. Once again, this will be the last time for all of our friends that may be listening on your radio dial, AM, FM frequencies. You will not hear us or any of our programming starting this Sunday on March 1st, and definitely will not hear us here on the morning show on Monday. We will still efforting, making sure and seeing if we can do the live show for you guys on hawaiisportsradio.com streaming. But at the very least, you will get us a podcasted on Monday. So might have to take a quick break from our YouTube live show. We've been quite a streak though. Impressive by us. We haven't really missed any. We've been have to start late a couple of times, and sometimes when I think Paul and Michael are both 1-1 for leaving me out to dry and starting a YouTube show all by myself. So they're tied on that front. But other than that, we might have to take a slight break from the YouTube next week, but we will be back, and we will be even more fierce than we ever were before. So I'm excited, though. The huge weekend for us. Once again, our final broadcast in general or live play-by-play broadcast on your AM FM radio will be tomorrow with HPU versus Chaminade softball. Weather looks like it's going to be okay this weekend, knock on wood. But yes, we will still have doubleheader action of women's softball in the Pac West, and that will begin at noon is the first game, and then second game to follow. So tune in, Kyle Galdera and Alan Mia with your play-by-play call presented by Hawaii Pacific Health. And then we say adieu to terrestrial radio. Woo! It's going to be an interesting weekend. How are you doing, Paul?
I'm doing well. Great day yesterday. I did. Part of the reason yesterday was so great because now I can finally take my photo so I can update my passport and all of those different things. But yeah, I'm doing well. Got a nice night of sleep after what was...
Nice.
Yeah, I always sleep well after it is a day filled with wins, and that is what yesterday was, yes. Right? I didn't have to worry about the Knicks losing and making me upset. Didn't have to worry about Syracuse doing that. The Rainbow Warriors were awesome from start to finish. The Rainbow Wahine kicked butt versus one of the best teams in the Big West Conference. And, oh yeah, the HPU Sharks took down Point Loma, and Jesse Nakanishi picked up his 50th career victory as a head coach. So it was a pretty great Thursday in general. I don't know how you can't be in a pretty good mood here on this Friday, albeit I do understand the run here on terrestrial radio coming to a close. But it doesn't feel like the end, really. It just feels like the next step for us. Maybe that's why I'm not necessarily as sad as I thought I was going to be today. Because at first I thought like today was going to be a really emotional. I'm sad, of course, because I do understand there are some people who might not come along with us just because it's a little bit easier to stay with the radio dial. And listen, I'm a creature of habit.
Yep.
You guys, if you're a longtime listener of this show, you know that I am somebody who does not like change, but this is one change that I've come to terms with, and I'm looking forward to. So I'm in a great mood. It's a great day. It's Friday. It's Aloha Friday. How about you? How are you doing?
I'm kind of the same. I'm excited now. When everything first happened, it felt like it hit me like a ton of bricks because I was holding out hope that we would at least carry out through the rest of the sports season on terrestrial. And it's just kind of like how you mentioned, and this is what I've been doing. And then I have to remember that this is not, it's just an evolution, right? Like we're not leaving sports coverage and doing what we love to do and talk to you guys almost every single morning and then bring you guys content and cover all of these games. Like that's not going away whatsoever. Our coverage is just it might take a step up, actually, because of some of the additional resources that we have in terms of making things a little more efficient. But yeah, it's like at first it was kind of sad, and then I'm kind of like you. I'm actually really excited, and definitely I mentioned him yesterday, but our new friend Shane, has definitely helped me be more excited about this transition in terms of how much awesomeness we have prepared for you guys. Again, still going to go through some growing pains, so bear with us next week. But once everything is complete, I would say maybe by the end of March, when like the app is here, all of that stuff, when everything is complete, it's actually going to be really, really exciting. And I am looking forward to getting there. And like any other journey or significant change or transition, there's always this like, whew, like blood, sweat, and tears type of moment and going through everything. But once you get to the end goal and you look to the future and you see what it can be, that's the part that like makes me really, really excited for you guys. And you talked about Jesse Nakanishi and the Sharks. This might make things a bit more, definitely less expensive, and potentially give us more opportunities to look at carrying some road games and postseason action for some of these things. Hopefully we will be able to bring you some postseason action for the HPU Sharks men's basketball team. But the things that we're working on will make things a lot easier in planning and doing more broadcasts like on the road. It's a whole thing. And like I said, I can't really divulge too much.
We'll get into it all.
But when we get there,
what's the Rich Hill
pretty
line?
Awesome.
All will be revealed.
Oh.
All shall be. There. See, I can wrap everything all together.
That's a perfect way to put it. I love that one. Yes. To take the words from Rich Hill, all will be revealed. And we're very, very excited. I tell you what, if all will be revealed and our station will be like how exciting this baseball team is, then I'll take it.
I will take that 10 times out of 10.
Because, baseball coming out with another win, as Paul was saying. Everyone, it was a winning day yesterday. Men's basketball made it a little stressful, but it's okay. A win is a win. We'll get to that. So we'll talk about some men's and women's basketball, both on the UH and HPU fronts. We'll hear from a little bit of the post game from head coach Laura Beeman on the women's side, and then we'll hear some post game from Isaiah Magdaleno following his almost complete game performance last night at Les Murakami Stadium, and a lot of other stuff to get into. A little trip down memory lane, all of that. That we are excited to chat with you guys. I don't know. I don't even know. I got distracted about telling everyone we won't be on terrestrial anymore. I don't know if I mentioned that we're live on YouTube right now.
We are.
I was saying that I was too distracted because creature of habit. Everyone's used to us being live on YouTube every Monday. So I just wanted to warn everyone that we may not be here on Monday, but we are live on our YouTube channel right now. So we wanted to make up for you guys. Last YouTube in our current studio. And we will see what will happen in the future. I mean, we had the blackout show in here. We had we make it work. If there's anything we do, we make it work.
Funny enough about this studio, in a relatively short amount of time, considering, because this was not a long time that we were in this studio.
Just barely over a year.
The amount of memories that were made in this studio or during the time that we were in here, I don't know if that's a testament to the amount of different things that we do or the craziness that we possess. Either way, it has been very good to us. So I am thankful for our short time but fun time here in the studio. I'm trying to get the link out for our show right now on Twitter. That's why I look like I've been texting for 5 minutes. I'm just a boomer, and it takes me a while. I got it out, but then I realized I did it wrong, so I have to delete the tweet. But I didn't want to delete all the words, so I had to go back and copy. It's a whole deal, you know how it is.
Boomer Paul.
You laugh. I'm so serious. I am so serious.
Let's see. Happy Aloha Terrestrial Friday. This is from our friend, one of our staple friends that tune in on demand, live, and to our YouTube show from the continent. We appreciate you very much. Let's see. I feel like it's rare to know ahead of time when a station does a format change, so I'm happy that we've had a few weeks to prepare. Speaking of, do you know the new updated link will work on Apple Music? That's how I typically listen live. Oh, I don't know. know. I didn't know you can listen live.
I will be honest. I did not know that either. I feel like
I had no idea, honestly. I thought that was more of an on-demand thing.
I would imagine.
I don't know.
I'm not sure. Hopefully we can just get around that anyway with the app once that comes out as well. I know it might be an extra step, but hopefully it still works.
Yeah.
If it doesn't end up working on Apple Music, I'm not totally sure. That's one we would probably have to chat out a little bit more just to know a couple more details.
Yeah.
That's first off cool. Like, I had no idea.
Also, I heard, yes, there is a significant change happening down the street from us as well, which not even planned. And I think it's hilarious of the timing with everything going on. So heads up to specifically the AM listeners. Please do not freak out on Monday. Because I know there is probably a good handful of people that only listen on the AM dial and maybe missed all the memos. They are going to kind of go through it on Monday, considering
it's a lot.
Their favorite people won't be anywhere to be found on AM, where they usually listen to some of the live shows here. So, yeah, tell your friends if they listen on AM and because I'm realistic. I know we share a lot of listeners, which is cool. It's fine. I get it.
People like Hawai'i Sports.
Yeah, so I just think it's going to be funny. Like, there's going to be some people tweaking out on Monday morning who only listen on AM. Now, FM for them I know is a little different, but who only listen on AM will try to go back and forth.
Like, hello?
And they'll only get news, because I think from what I've heard, this station now will have stuff from one of their other stations that they have and simulcast for a little bit. But where's my sports on the AM? So please don't freak out if you only listen on AM. You're going to go through quite the change, regardless. And if you just listen to us, then you're definitely the upper echelon of the beautifulest of all the beautiful people in the morning. So hopefully you follow us on Hawai'iSportsRadio.com/live is where you'll find us. We won't have the live stream yet, but for all of our dedicated listeners, I'll just give you the heads up now. That's where it's going to be. Hawai'iSportsRadio.com/live is where our new streaming platform will live, and that you can go to before the app gets released. So starting on Sunday, again, I'm switching out the main links and starting to plug it, but don't freak out again. I'll put a little disclaimer on the landing page if we aren't able to go live on Monday morning, just so you guys kind of get a heads up. Because yes, we're in the communication business. Crazy, Paul. We want to communicate to everybody and make things a bit like the best, easiest as we can for all of you as we go along on this new journey, going off of terrestrial radio and onto a fully digital platform or platforms. But yes, Hawai'iSportsRadio.com/live is where we will quote unquote live. There are friends on VSiN. It's already active. That's kind of going on right now, and but none of our live stuff. So for the softball game tomorrow, please do not listen on there. Still go to our old streaming stuff. I know I'm just throwing a bunch of words at you, and it might be confusing you guys, so that's why we encourage you to follow us on social media, so you'll have all the right links to listen to us. But again, we appreciate you, and it's gonna be a fun journey with all of you through the next couple of weeks. But as Paul mentioned, it always feels like good vibes, so on this Friday morning, considering that yesterday amounted in win after win after win after win after win after win after win.
In a great mood today.
It was just, and then a beautiful pitching performance to close out everything by Isaiah Magdaleno and the UH baseball team.
I don't even know if that's enough. I don't even know if that's a strong enough word to describe his performance.
Don't forget, though, before we go to break, if you are headed out to campus this afternoon/evening, brace for traffic getting in. If you can get dropped off or ride share, I would suggest you do, or you can go a little early and just wait in traffic. But huge heads up, because men's volleyball at 7, baseball at 6:30. There's softball going on as well, and we know, I mean, if men's volleyball drew almost 5,000 on Wednesday night against BYU, tonight could get a bit more than that on a Friday night. And then, of course, baseball on a Friday night as well is going to do its own draw. I haven't seen anything if any of the games are actually sold out, but we know that there's still going to be a lot of people that go there. So just brace for traffic, if anything, or like I said, ride share or do any of that stuff if you are able to. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we will we'll start getting to our breakdown of all of the different things that happened yesterday. When we come back, we will get to some UH men's basketball conversation as the Rainbow Warriors coming out with a very nerve-wracking win yesterday. But a win is a win, and CSUN actually went down yesterday to UC Irvine. So it is going to be quite the stretch for the next 3 games. Then I feel like that's an understatement. But we'll talk about that and give you all the things you need to know when we come back on the Hawai'i Sports Radio Network.
Up in the Den with Kulele Abriani on the Hawai'i Sports Radio Network, 95.1 FM and AM 760.
Welcome back to Wake Up in the Den. Kulele Agbayani and Paul Brecht on the Hawai'i Sports Radio Network, 95.1 FM, AM 760, and HawaiiSportsRadio.com. Thank you for tuning in and hanging out with us. And we are streaming live on our YouTube channel as well. Just a special Aloha Friday YouTube live stream because we might not be here on Monday as we
say
go
aloha
through
to terrestrial.
As we say aloha to the studio and all of that stuff. But we're not going anywhere. We're just disappearing from the radio wavelength.
We are evolving.
Yes, 100%.
That's how we've described it.
Just real quick before we get into some men's basketball, asking if our text number will still be the same. Yes, the text number remains the same. I kind of chuckled though. We talked about this the other day where as you guys know, we say it KGU1 5481. KGU are the call signs for this station for KGU AM, and I'm like, I guess we can still say KGU, and then eventually people will just get confused on what it is, but it'll be just nostalgic. Yes, I did. I joked about this where I'm not like that dense, where I did effort making it HSRN. However, whatever the numbers come out to was taken. So we couldn't do HSRN. So I did effort that. That was my first choice. Unfortunately, it was already taken because that would have made way too much sense. So I don't want anyone there being like, why didn't you just do HSRN? I did. But it was taken, unfortunately. But you know what? But the text number, yes, well, text number will still be the same. We may incorporate. So that's the exciting thing that's coming. We may incorporate taking your calls as well. At the very least, we will have the ability to call out and have people on the phone, which I'm really excited to test. And we're just going to have to, I think that'll be the fun thing we'll do next week, Paul. We'll just call random people that now that we can during the live show.
Prank calls?
Yeah. We're just going to call like, oh shoot, they have practice. I was going to say, I'm going to call like Matt Chon and be like, Sean, you're live right now. Don't say anything crazy.
Yeah, you're live on air. Please don't cuss.
Yeah. I think that'll be a fun experiment because we've never been able to do it in both studios. So that is something I'm really, really excited. After 4 or 5 years being on live radio, we haven't been able to do that for lack of support, but that's okay. We're moving on. So we're going to be able to do that now. And I'm really, really excited that that's something we can incorporate. I'll just start calling all my friends during the show and like I just said, hey, you're live. Don't say anything crazy. But if you drop some profanity here or there, I guess we won't get in trouble anymore by the FCC. So it's going to be a fun time. And I think all of these little things that I'm realizing we can do in the future is what is making me really excited and to pursue this new venture for Hawai'i Sports Radio. And it's going to, be a fun one. Our STS segments are going to probably get a little crazier. We'll just use that to call random people. I'm just going to go through like my contacts and like start calling people, texting. Maybe if it's a coach, I'll just text them ahead of time like, hey, can I call you? Sorry, it's last minute. Let's just have some fun. And it's going to be a fun time. Like so again, all of that, I'm really looking forward. And next week, maybe in the next 2 weeks, is just going to be, well, I mean, I guess we get kind of wonky already, Paul, but it might be a little bit more wonkier.
Yeah.
Just saying. Just warning everybody.
Yeah, I mean, as I say that we're going to continue and evolve, I don't think we're ever going to lose the silliness and the goofiness that makes this show the show that it is. I mean, it's part of who we are, Ku'ule. Let's be honest here. I'm excited. It's going to be a good time. We're going to be able to do new things, and new things typically mean that we can bring an even better product or an even fresher product to the beautiful people. And that's, I think, what excites me most about what's going forward for us here at HSRN. So that's a big reason why I hope people come along with us, even through the growing pains, the bumps and bruises. Because if you have been along with us for these 5 years, there have been plenty of bumps, bruises, growing pains, and whatnot. But still we persevere, and still I think we do an all right job bringing beautiful people some sports news here and there. Yeah,
here and there, which we should probably get into now. But
I guess.
I get it. It's our Aloha Terrestrial, Aloha to the Studio Friday. Well, I guess I'll be in the studio tomorrow, actually. But last time doing this show in this studio before we move into our new place and get that all situated out and then move into just our new place overall at hawaiisportsradio.com. But we were streaming live on YouTube today if you guys want to come and hang out with us and chiming in on the text line if you want at 808-888 KGU1 808-888-5481 or chime in on the live YouTube chat. All right, let's get into some UH men's basketball though, as the Rainbow Warriors coming out with a sweaty win there last night at UC Davis, 77-73. And they were pretty dominant for majority of this game. I mean, there were times where they really started to pull ahead over the Aggies, and then they would get back in there. And then the last minute and a half, maybe, was quite stressful.
Maybe it's something about that gym. You know, Hawaii teams can't finish in that gym without some sort of, because the women did the same thing 3 months ago, and that might different. It is different, but I'm gonna chalk it up. It's the gym. That's why, because you're right. I thought they played actually really, really well for long portions or big portion of this game, and that was even despite some foul trouble that was really, really hampering Isaac Johnson in the second half, who was awesome through the entire first 20 minutes. I thought this was maybe Yassine Toomey's best game of the season. If it wasn't, it's in the top 3 or 4, I think, because he was, and I understand you might look at his stats and you're kind of like, I hear you, Paul. He doesn't get that much time in general, but like 6 points, 2 rebounds, like a steal. Are we sure this is what? I thought he was so vital to getting them through those second half minutes without just completely falling apart against a quality UC Davis team. Like, this is an Aggie squad that very likely somebody is hoping they don't have to face in the Big West tournament. So this was a good win. I was excited by it. But
and luckily, Connor Sevilla did not have the type of game he had
brutal
here
for the most part.
There at their own home court, because he was the one that kind of like just he was just a scary player. So he got back to normal a little bit.
2 for 9 in this one.
Yeah, only hit 1 of 7 3-pointers. So Marcus Wilson led the Aggies with 25 points. But yes, overall, and to echo what you said, Paul, it's like Isaac Johnson, because he was someone that we've always talked about. I feel like he definitely listens to the show and got motivated by us, because we would say how he's a second half player. And the last few games he's been able to like come out in the first half. But then, like Paul said, I mean, he had a brilliant first half. And so when he started to really get into foul trouble in that second half, it's like, oh, no, he's been doing so good in this first half. And when we get like a complete Isaac Big Fish Johnson type of game, 2 halves put together, I mean, he still ended up being the leading scorer for the Rainbow Warriors with 16. But again, that was with the lack of being on the court. And then he'd like that. And then in the second half, he like checked in and maybe less than a minute, got another foul. It's like, no.
It was literally like 30 seconds of game action. It was ridiculous. And I felt bad because it was a foul, but it wasn't like a foul.
Yeah.
So I thought it could have gone the other way. But realistically, that's good for Hawaii to go through, especially. And I understand they've gone through plenty of adversity this season, losing players. But this is one that is a legitimate type of adversity you may face during the Big West tournament, where you might face UC Davis, you might face one of these teams, and Big Fish has kind of been susceptible to foul trouble this year. And it's been in different games, and it's not all the time, but it's good to see that you can go on the road against a good team and a team who has been, I mean, a top 4 team, top 5 team in the Big West since the start of the conference season. And you can win this game despite not getting the best second half from him and the injuries that you have on top of that. I do understand UC Davis also had a couple of injuries that were semi-significant for this game. Niels Cooper not playing in this one, obviously a big loss for them. I'm not really going to feel bad for anybody at this point when it comes to injuries, when your top 2 point guards and ball handlers are not in uniform anymore. So that's kind of why I am glossing over that. If any UC Davis fan is listening and saying, hey, I mean, we were missing a couple of key players, and it's absolutely fair. Absolutely fair. So are we. That would be my counter back. This was a good win. It was an important win on top of that.
Yes,
because
important win for sure.
We talked a little bit about it where I don't want to say lucked out, but the schedule played out in such a way where CSUN plays against UC Irvine on the same night. You win, and no matter what happens, you come out still with a share of first place. And, they've put themselves in a real good spot with 3 games left to potentially clinch a share of the regular season Big West title, which would be awesome. Fullerton, we'll get into that later. Fullerton is still another beast. You still got to win that game, and that's not going to be a walk in the park either. So I was glad they got this one. It was a hard-fought game. And funny enough, it also wasn't really Dre Bullock's best outing offensively anyway. And they still won. And I think that is good to see, because we've also seen now when Dre is scoring, this team wins.
Yeah.
When he doesn't, sometimes it can be a little more of a 50-50 on the final result. So I was glad to see them get a quality win against a good team on the road, even without Dre scoring at his highest clip, with Big Fish having some foul trouble in the second half, and plenty of other things that we can talk about as well.
The interesting thing with Dre, though, it's not like he was off in shooting. He just didn't take a lot of shots. So that was the interesting. But he did have that massive block at like a major time in the game, like to prevent UC Davis from scoring on that possession. Like it was like just that block. I think that was the same one, though. They got it back, and then they kicked it to the outside for the triple. But then Isaiah Kerr closed in really quickly and like defended it perfectly, kind of doing the side tap so that you're not going to foul the shooter. So they did like a phenomenal job. And like, yeah, that's the key word, the effort, where if, you're not producing offensively, but that block, yes, it's just a tally of one block for Dre Bullock, but sometimes not all stats are created equal, and that was just a massive. Like, he sprinted out to close out on that, and I was just, that got me so fired up when he was able to do that and just get a little clip of it, and then they prevented from Davis scoring anything on that possession. So massive props to Dre Bullock. Again, just shoot a little more tomorrow, please, if the opportunity presents itself.
I'm choosing to believe that he was saving his energy and
Okay,
scoring for
there
this
you go.
one against Fullerton. I'm glad you brought that up, though, because that was in the moment. I remember writing it down in my notes, being like, that might end up being a really big play because it very easily, UC Davis is a good three-point shooting team, very easily could have ended up in a three ball, and that was a point that the Aggies were starting to find some life again. And instead of giving up a three, instead of like just kind of like bad bounce, bad whatever, hustling out a contest like that. And then I'm glad you brought up Isaiah Kerr's defense as well right afterwards, because it very easily could have been a great block, great hustle that was all for naught because they got the ball back in another open three. But Kerr giving one last effort. I think it was Sevilla who put up the three from the left wing there, and that one was off the mark. Those are the type of plays, though, that separate a good team from a great team and a great team from a championship team, because that UC Davis team is a pain in the butt, pain in the neck, however you want to say it. And Hawaii, through thick and thin, they were able to pull out that victory because of some really great hustle, some great execution, and a little bit of luck towards the end of the game as well.
I'm glad you put it, and a little bit of luck. Hey, we're gonna admit when there's a
fine.
little bit of
It's
luck
okay.
there as well. But some other key players that stood out. I mean, everyone's just like you said. Everyone's kind of putting in that effort and doing all the things they need to do. Hopefully, please, guys, let that effort show up on a Saturday on the road. That's kind of been the struggle bus this season. Like every Saturday, it just, I don't know if it's they're tired or whatnot, but this is when you just got to get it done at Fullerton, a very quality team. But you mentioned Yassine Toomey earlier, and I was just saying how not all stats are created equal. Yes, only 6 points, but he was someone that was very, very significant when he got into the game, especially having that solid of a player when you do have Isaac Johnson in this type of foul trouble where there's not going to be this significant drop-off of just throwing anybody in there. Also, Harry Ruliadef continuing to do
nice
really well as
him.
well. I mean, he was in double-digit scoring with 11 points. So all of the collective effort, again, even though there's not exactly an insane amount of depth because they are definitely short those
shout
2
out
point
AJ
guards.
Economo for getting in the first half, man.
Hey.
Anything helps.
Anything helps right now with this Rainbow Warrior basketball team. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we will chat a little bit of UH baseball and let you guys hear from the starting pitcher of last night's win for the Rainbow Warriors, Isaiah Magdaleno, when we come back on the Hawai'i Sports Radio Network.
Back to more Wake Up in the Den with Ku'ulei Agbayani on the Hawai'i Sports Radio Network, 95.1 FM and AM 760.
I'ma do what I do, try to keep up. Ain't no
Welcome back to all of you, the beautifulest of all, the beautiful people. It's Wake Up in the Den, Ku'ulei Agbayani and Paul Brecht on the Hawai'i Sports Radio Network. Last time on 95.1 FM and AM 760, but you will be able to still hear us live on hawaiisportsradio.com and coming soon, the HSRN app. And also, you can still listen on demand wherever you get most podcasts. Coming up tomorrow, though, will be our last play-by-play broadcast on terrestrial radio. We'll bring you HPU softball versus Chaminade, the battle out at Staten Island. Kyle Galdera and Alan Mia with the call, presented by Hawaii Pacific Health. So we encourage you guys to tune in. Again, a little afternoon softball doubleheader. Broadcast begins around noon. And then you get two softball games leading into your evening with University of Hawaii Sports happening there in Manoa. So it's going to be a fun time. And again, that'll wrap up officially tomorrow. Our time is spent here on your AM and FM dial. But we are not going anywhere. And we encourage you guys to follow us on YouTube, on social media at High Sports Radio, at our website at hawaiisportsradio.com. And all of that stuff. So thank you guys for hanging out with us this and every weekday morning from 8 to 10. Like we had a text earlier, our text line will remain the same as well. 808-888-KGU1. That's 808-888-5481. We might still keep saying KGU1 just for nostalgia's sake and just it's easier to remember that way.
It's still technically KGU1 as the number.
Yeah.
Just not the...
Maybe if we can, I got to go back and look at what it is and maybe we'll think of another set of letters that might be
That's a lot of work. It's a lot of thinking for us.
Oh man, we'll see. Let's see. We got Caesar out here in the YouTube live.
Yeah, Mr. New username himself.
Shout out to his bride that says she started listening to us and watching us. Likes my easygoing personality. Oh, girl next door attitude and encyclopedic knowledge of all sports.
Dang.
Also the huge hockey fan. That's right. She's a Winnipeg Jets fan.
Go Jets.
One day, drink mimosas and eat poutine fries with cheese. If you're not lactose intolerant or allergic to dairy. No, I very much do love poutine fries. So yeah, mimosas. I don't know if I could drink mimosas and eat poutine fries though. Might have to be separate things. It just on the palate. I don't know if that. At least for me, anyways.
Even think about that.
But
just
poutine
fire
fries.
it all down.
We'll just go. Maybe poutine fries and some Canadian beer or something. That kind of goes together.
Poutine fries and that, or you have the mimosas before. That sets you up,
That's
and then
true.
You're ready for the poutine.
That is
afterwards.
true.
So see, we're thinking
That
it out.
is
We're talking
true.
it out live on air. We could work it.
Yeah.
Poutine's so good though.
It's so good.
I think that over mimosas in terms of if you had to choose one or the other, because I love mimosas, don't get me wrong. Great start to a day. Poutine you can still have some fun with, we'll say. So, yeah.
No, I'm just got hungry.
Yeah,
Thanks a lot for that.
Yeah.
Also saying that her favorite hockey player, Connor Hellebuck, being announced that
What
he's
the hell?
awarded, hasn't been awarded yet technically, but saying that he will be awarded, at least I didn't see it, that it did the official
I have no
procedure
idea, I'll be
thing
honest.
with the Medal of Freedom. So adding to a full list of athletes who have been awarded the Medal of Freedom. There's like a ton of athletes. Simone Biles comes to mind.
I'm trying to pull up the list
Simone
right now.
Biles. I think even Katie Ledecky, the swimmer as well. So that's pretty cool. You even have Vin Scully, I believe, in the sports world that was awarded it as well. Billie Jean King. There's a bunch. So that's pretty cool. And shout out to your favorite hockey player, Connor Hellebuck, the massive reason why USA men's hockey had won that game. But thank you to Caesar's fiance for tuning in to us as well. We appreciate you. All right, getting into some baseball conversation again. It always feels so good when we get to keep just talking about wins that happened.
Yeah.
We love it. Especially when games get stressful like they did for the men's basketball. All that matters is coming out with wins. Not as stressful, not a stereotypical Rich Hill Rainbow Warrior baseball game last night, but that's good too. But at least they scored more than a couple of runs, right? We always talk about the the bats kind of waking up. I know we heard from Coach Rich Hill yesterday and what he had to say, and he is very much about the pitching, and we've talked about that too, right? Pitching wins you the championships. The bats will eventually come, but I know part of the reason what can make baseball really entertaining is seeing runs put up on the scoreboard. But pitching was beautiful last night by Isaiah Magdaleno in that 6-1 win for the Rainbow Warriors against Ball State, first game of the series. They're back in action tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday. But near complete game for Mags, 8.1 innings, allowing just 2 hits and 1 unearned run on 95 pitches, 65 strikes to notch his first win of 2026. He had a pair of no decisions before last night. So Isaiah Magdaleno,
Shoved.
this type of performance. So before we talk a little bit more about UH baseball and looking ahead at the next few games in this series, here is exactly what Mags had to say following that nice game that he had. And it just starts with that. Starts with talking about his performance last night.
I mean, I feel like, me and Zuni just really prepared to a different level. I feel like, just taking a step and just preparing for the game better. We had a game plan and it worked out, just attacking the batter and going after it from pitch one. And even though they got on from the get-go, we just settled down from there, and it was good. It was a good time. It was fun. I felt like just getting ahead early was the main part, getting ahead early and then just throwing my best pitch after that once it got to 2 strikes. So other than that, it was just attacking the batter.
I want to ask about your mindset, right? I mean, the previous 2 starts, it kind of were no decisions, and I mean, the relievers are kind of getting a lot of their love, right, in these past 2 series. So, what was your mindset coming into this match? I mean, this game, because you was rock solid tonight.
It was the same as any other game, just going out there and emptying the tank. And even though the first 2 were no decision, the bullpen got in there and they did their job. So everybody on the pitching staff is just locked in, and we're just ready to get after it next week.
Is there any adjustments that you made after the first 2 series?
Just mix up my wind-up a little bit, changed it a little bit, and a little bit different arm path. But other than that, just threw it the same.
That 8 inning was kind of your most efficient inning, I think 5 pitches, right? Talk about your defense throughout this whole game backing up. Because in that 8 inning, I think they had the bunt and then they had the other hit. Just talk about your defense backing you up.
This is my favorite defense. I mean, I love these guys. Everybody loves each other in the clubhouse. So, I mean, the chemistry just basically carries what we do on the field. So, I'd say this is a very close team, and we're going to go big places. And other than that, we're just going to play baseball.
Subasa,
Yep.
he wanted to take a picture at the end. He helped finish the game for you.
Yeah.
Talk about that relationship.
Oh, I love Tommy. I mean, we hang out all the time. Everybody's hanging out at the locker room, and me and him, everybody in the pitching staff is just together all the time. So it's good things are going to happen when you have good relationships.
What's kind of the talk from, I mean, when you're in a groove like that, does your defense talk to you at all in the dugout, if so, or even out on the field? What's kind of the message?
I mean, we're keeping it loose out there. It's not like you can't talk to me. I'm going about it just like anybody else. Everybody has their process. So just refreshing every inning, getting the mindset ready for the next inning, and just going back at it.
And that was UH baseball starting pitcher from last night's 6-1 win over Ball State, Isaiah Magdaleno, a.k.a. Mags. Once again, getting his first win of 2026 after a pair of no decisions earlier when in his outings, but almost a complete game, 8.1. It's one of those, like, it's great, but you're not surprised because you kind of always knew that Isaiah Magdaleno was that guy. I mean, there's the reason why he's starting on the first night, right? But it always will feel good, at least as the starting pitcher, that you can go that long. And we weren't really sure what to expect from Ball State. Even Coach Rich Hill said that in his game week media availability. But it's nice to know, at least up to this point, Hawaii baseball could compete with some of traditionally top baseball programs in the country, and Gonzaga and Wichita State. And then you invite another team who, they're kind of a mid-tier type of team in Ball State, and you could take care of business and essentially dominate in that game.
Did you see the weather in the box score for this game?
No.
I always they do this
They always do stuff.
from time to time. Unbelievable is very, very good. Shout out to Darren Iha and all
I
of
love
them
that.
because it's always funny. No, this was not really surprising at all. Like you said, Magdaleno is he is a premier arm for the Rainbow Warriors. It was huge that he was coming back this year. Whatever role they were going to put him in, and obviously stretching him out to be a starter once again. Kind of saw last year that he had the ability to go multiple innings in big spots regardless of the hitters, and it made you wonder just how much more you could get from him. And now you see something like this where he goes a career-high 8 1/3, he gets career-high 12 Ks. Like, he was phenomenal from start to finish. He emptied the mag. Can I say that?
Oh, okay.
Am I allowed to say that? I think
it's hit or miss these days.
Anyway, but 12 Ks, only 2 walks, gave up the run late. It was a great performance. It's exactly what you expect from your ace at this point. And I think that is something that is fair to call Magdaleno, the way that he pitches, the confidence that he has on the bump. It is that of a number one for a college baseball team, and that is something that is very, very big for Rich Hill and squad going forward. You look at the lineup as well. Ben Ziegler-Damoa he's a pro. I mean, that's a guy who should play professional baseball, whatever team ends up getting him once his college career is done. Very, very lucky, both in terms of the person and the player that they're getting. He hits his first home run of the season last night, has another RBI as well to start things off. Hopefully, it seems Christian Hoffman, the transfer, I believe, from Oklahoma, he's starting to figure things out with the bat a little bit. You knew that he had the ability, and if he's connecting like he has been, where he has another 2 RBI last night on a double, he had a home run, I think the first home run of the season for the Rainbow Warriors as well. The offense slowly but surely starting to wake up. You still have Cody Watanabe and Elijah Iquez, yada, 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 yada. So signs are starting to show that the Bows offense is figuring it out, and the pitching, guys, the pitching's always going to be good. As long as Zuni's here, I don't think I'm going to sweat the pitching ever.
Exactly. Yeah, that's true.
It is just, it doesn't matter the faces that they're in, doesn't matter the positions that they're in, the roles that they're in. They're just going to have guys who compete, guys who are good, guys who know how to pitch, guys who keep you in ball games. What they do. And this was another example of that.
And we'll see potentially the same type of pitching situation tonight. Hakili Robello is on the bump on the Friday night. I mean, he's 2-0. We talked about Mags getting his first win of 2026, but Hakili Robello so far this season 2-0, and he's been dealing as well. So it's going to be a fun time tonight. And once again, if you are planning to go to the Les or to the Stand or even to softball, prepare for some traffic and a lot of people down there, as there should be, right? Like both teams, I mean, men's volleyball, for all they do, coming off of that nice win against BYU in the first of 2 matches. Second match tonight. We'll see if Hawaii can continue their dominant ways that they had the final 2 sets of Wednesday's match. And then baseball, like we said, I mean, if the bat's starting to come alive now and Robello on the bump, I mean, it's going to be very entertaining Friday night. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be back to close out hour number 1 on the Hawai'i Sports Radio Network.
Back to more Wake Up in the Den with Ku'ulei Agbayani on the Hawai'i Sports Radio Network, 95.1 FM and AM 760.
Ku'ulei Agbayani on the Hawai'i Sports Radio Network, along with Paul Brecht, jamming out there. Want to make sure we take note of Paul's shirt over there. Paul Brecht, the Tokyo Toe. I know, Tokyo Toe was in action in the NFL Combines, the specialist showcase. So shout out to Kansei Matsuzawa. There's been a bunch of photos and stuff shared on social media, so that's really cool. And a lot of cool comments on there saying that they can't wait to see him play on Sundays and everything. So he is definitely, he's part of the IPP program, and probably the most popular player that's part of the program. He's one of 13 players.
Only one I heard of.
Yeah, the only one that got as much social media push. I mean, consensus All-American from the University of Hawaii, YouTube kicker, all of that stuff. Probably has the most interesting story out of everyone in the internet. And this is me not even looking up anybody else in this IPP program. But we're always going to be biased for our Kansei Matsuzawa.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I know it's not disrespectful because it's trying to get him to be like a player in the NFL. It's great. The IPP program's great.
Yes,
it's not disrespectful at all. Blah, 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 blah. This is a consensus All-American. Consensus first team All-American. Like, this is a guy who should be drafted this year. And I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, an IPP program where, like, he's not going to count against a roster spot for, like, whatever. And he basically get extra opportunities to try and latch on for a year or two. I don't know. I sat there and I'm like, one, I don't feel like he needs this as a safety net. Two, I'm glad he's got it.
Yeah.
Because he deserves it. He is somebody who, I mean, there have been a lot of really cool athletes who we've been able to get to know, work with in their time here in the islands. He is in my top 3, if not top 1. Just incredibly kind human being. Never did this for all the attention that he did ultimately get. And it never changed him either. He was the same exact kid, except maybe a little bit more confident speaking. That's maybe the only change that I saw in him. The same human being, though, from the first time we interviewed Kansei to the last time when we said aloha and sent him off for his NFL journey. And I think that's the coolest thing as well, because this kid, he's the same age as me. Kid. I say with daughter on the way.
You're a kid, Paul.
But I'm happy for him. Yeah. He deserves it 100%. And I'm glad that he's part of this program, even if at first when I looked at it, I'm like, does he really even need this? He should be drafted. It's the bias.
Okay, it's the bias. And like you said, it's a good security safety blanket to have. I'm similar like you, or a little biased / I do believe he is a high quality kicker and maybe won't need it, but it's nice to have it there where he can say that he can spend the next couple of years within the NFL, even if it's a developmental purpose. Like, hey, he did it, right? Like, that was his goal, is to be a kicker at this high level. And should he be able to eventually, maybe out of this draft or after the program is complete, be on an NFL team, then he officially accomplished that goal that he set out to do way back when. And did you see, I think like I saw on social, like his brother now is like doing the same thing.
His
now
brother's trying
in
to
Japan.
make a very similar path, which is very, very cool. And that's kind of why it was, and obviously it's keeping it in the family is fun, but it's why it was cool, his journey in the first place, because it does speak, even if it is just his brother, it does speak to other kids, and it does speak to other young athletes like, hey, my story's crazy, but it's not impossible.
Yeah.
And that means if you want to give it a shot, why don't you? So I thought that was cool. I did see that, though.
Like,
I also thought, I'm just like, why don't we offer him? Bring him on in.
Just bring him on in, right? Like,
Whatever.
might be raw, but if there's anyone that can improve him, it would be Coach Sheffield. So
Exactly.
might as well just
Let
bring
him sit
in
on the bench and
Constantly. I think there was also
develop.
a video I saw like from a management group, and I think he hit like a 55-yarder,
Yes.
right? Like,
Yes.
so that was pretty
Saw
cool,
that
right
as
down
well.
the middle. And he's just more consistent. I don't know. It's not saying that he can't get there. Like, I don't know if he has like the leg strength yet to see what we've seen some of these NFL kickers do. But at the same time, we've seen a lot of these
I don't
NFL
really care
kickers.
as long as he makes them.
I was going to say we've seen a lot of these NFL kickers this past season miss essentially chip shots, right? So you've had some kickers that have bombed and nailed some really long distance, like 55 plus, 60 plus field goals this past season, but there isn't 32 teams that have a guy that can do that. So I'm like, there's been a lot of shaky kicking. I mean, we talk about Youngway and how there was that flop with the hitting and kicking the ground. So let's go Kansei.
Kickers, those jobs open up every single year. There will be an opportunity. I just hope he gets an opportunity at some point. What I was talking about before, I looked it up just because I want to be a little bit more firm on it. Part of this program, players can be signed as free agents or, if eligible, selected during the NFL draft. Each NFL club is permitted one roster exemption for a qualifying IPP player from the start of the club's off-season program, which is your OTAs, etc., all the way through when you have final roster cut downs to 53 players. So it gets you an entire offseason where it can kind of have an extra player or whatever. And then you are also eligible to be a 17th practice squad player, as the international players are for. And that's reserved specifically for international athletes across any of the 32 teams. So I just wanted to get a little more information there for people who are a little less familiar with the IPP program, why I was getting at, it's a safety net, it's an extra opportunity, it's whatever it may be.
Yeah. But he ain't going to need that. He'll just
Pretty
be on the
much.
roster.
Pretty much. That's kind of where I'm
All
at.
right, we got to take a break. We'll be back for hour 2 on the Hawai'i Sports Radio Network.
Back to more Wake Up in the Den with Ku'ulei Agbayani on the Hawai'i Sports Radio Network, 95.1 FM and AM 760.
Welcome back to Wake Up in the Den, hour number 2. I'm Ku'ulei Agbayani alongside Paul Brecht, and you're listening on the Hawai'i Sports Radio Network for the final time on 95.1 FM and AM 760, but for the future, hawaiisportsradio.com and still on demand wherever you get most podcasts. Once again, it's the final countdown.
Are we going to get copyright struck now?
I mean, maybe,
We're
because
pretty close.
it sounds exactly like the actual song, so maybe.
It's not even like parody-like. It's actually spot on. That was actually, for all of our audio-only listeners, that was actually Ku'ulei and I doing a final countdown impression. I just, they weren't aware, so I wanted to make sure that everybody was in on the joke. Nobody wants to be confused on our final day.
No. Yeah, so that was totally us. So we might get copyright struck because that was just sounded exactly like the song. So yeah. Oh well, what are we gonna do? But yes, it's the final countdown. It's the final hour of this show. As it stands on your AM and FM dial. Once again, we encourage you guys, if you only listen in on the frequencies, please follow us to our digital platforms. Once again, we will be live at hawaiisportsradio.com. The current streaming link that you have now, we will not be there either. So make sure you follow us along on hawaiisportsradio.com. But this is the last time for Paul and I in this live show on terrestrial radio today, but tomorrow, again, because it's still February, last day of the month tomorrow, that we will have HPU softball versus Chaminade live from Staten Island with Kyle Caldera and Alan Mia, presented by Hawaii Pacific Health. You'll still be able to hear that game beginning at noon on your radio dial and on the streaming link that you have now currently. But following that and starting on March 1st, this Sunday, we will not be here. It will be entirely different programming. I don't know what type of programming, but it will definitely not be sports. It might be like news of some sort. I'm not sure. But yes, we will not be here. So make sure you guys follow us along. And I hope we gave you enough of a heads up. And I know there will still be some people that might freak out come Monday morning, but fear not. We are still here and still bringing you guys coverage of all of the other sports stuff going on in Hawaii with HPU, UH, high school sports. Like I said, we still got a massive final stretch of high school sports with girls flag football and the introduction of surfing this season, baseball, softball, boys volleyball, all points in between. I think this weekend is actually state wrestling. There's still a lot to bring you guys, so we will we'll bear with us as we figure out some of the live play-by-play kinks as we get into it next week. But you'll definitely still have your active coverage as the guys will kind of handle those duties while we figure out some of the stuff next week. And yeah, it'll still be fun.
Captain. Yes, ma'am.
Major Paul.
We don't want to start this. We'll go down a whole rabbit hole.
Real quick before we get into some University of Hawaii women's basketball, I want to, give you a quick or a brief stadium update as they had their usual monthly meeting yesterday in their new digs, I guess you can say. So a quick update on the Aloha Stadium. This is via Christian Shimabuku of Aloha State Daily. Always covering those things as well. So they had their first meeting in its new location. Let's see, the temporary offices. Now there's visible progress set up in the lower Halava lot. This followed the blessing of the new space, of course. Interim manager Michael Yadao reported that power was disconnected to the old stadium, and that visible demolition should start along the street level in March. I know there was some posts on social media and from our colleagues in sports news of kind of like the, what do you call those things? Tractor things with the big scoop.
So sorry. Tractor thing with the big scoop.
What is it?
So now I can
Oh,
picture.
see, look, he can't think of it either. Trying to laugh at
Well,
me.
I'm laughing because it was such a funny way to describe it. What is it? A backhoe? Are you talking?
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah,
Big scoop thing. I'm not in construction, obviously, so I have no idea what the terminology is.
Okay, yeah, I was a backhoe. I was right. I was right.
Okay.
Don't make me feel bad for that. I was in one of those way back in the day when I was helping build our pool. I have a very famous picture. I'll have to show you.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay,
I think
you're
we're
right. Okay,
I think
you're
we're on
right.
the same page now. Also, I needed a moment so I could come up with it because I was like because I also would have been like, yeah, the Scoopy thing, obviously. The visual on this show has been just crazy.
It's the final countdown, Paul. That's why I
thing, man. I'm like, oh man, I got a peek of me.
Getting a little loopy here and there.
Oh man, whatever. All right. So what about the backhoe? What are we talking? Oh,
No,
they brought in one of the backhoes.
Well, like I know our colleagues were posting about it on social media last week of like them doing that, like taking down a portion of the stadium. But now I guess even more tangible progress people will be able to see. Again, this is via Christian at Aloha State Daily that. The power has been disconnected, so that's another significant progress for this stadium. Let's see. It continues. Some of the key development agreements haven't been fully signed yet, and the parties have agreed in principle on the master development agreement and hope to finalize the remaining agreements in March. So some of the final pieces, once again, have not been fully signed, but they are still continuing the progress, including that the power has been disconnected. Let's see, Walter Thames officially served his first meeting as the new Stadium Authority chair, taking over after former chair Eric Fujimoto stepped down in January. He expressed optimism about the project's March 2029 target for completion and excited for the surrounding entertainment district, as we talked about. A couple of days ago, we also mentioned the potential naming rights bill that is still alive in this legislative session, and I think would make way too much sense. I'm sure that's something that the developers would like to happen because as much money as you can get infused into the project is only a good thing, so that the public can get a state-of-the-art environment with the entertainment district surrounding it. And we also talked about how the entertainment district is just a massive thing now in sports, especially in both professional and college sports, but mainly in professional sports, where that's what they kind of strive to when they either renovate or build new stadiums or renovate around the stadiums. I had made the comparison or reference to the Chicago Cubs, as it was just Wrigley Field, a couple of your old school staple bars that were there, and just essentially dirt parking lot and like a McDonald's or something. Now it is like an entertainment district around Wrigley Field with still is the friendly confines within a neighborhood in Chicago, but and then of course with the football team that's next door with the Bears, the Arlington Heights thing is still alive and well apparently because it could offer an entertainment district as opposed to moving to Indiana. So NASED, I think, is going to be really exciting when it's all said and done, and to hear Walter Thames say that March 2029 we're still going to be optimistic, but the power has been disconnected and tangible progress will start to be seen more so starting next month. It's March already, everybody.
3 years away, technically.
Yeah.
Oh well. Yeah. It will be, I guess, because it's not March yet. It's the last couple of days of February. But
you would hope it would be completed in 3 years to the day, because you would want it to be open in March 2029. So yes. It's the final countdown. 3 years.
We've hoped a lot of things when it comes to the new Aloha Stadium Entertainment District project, and not all of them have come to fruition, but some of them have actually come to fruition and then some. I mean, overall, I'm remaining positive, Paul, about all of this. That's what I have decided.
Yes.
I have to, because if I don't...
Until we cannot anymore.
If I don't, then the pessimists win, and I will be damned if I am termed as pessimist, Paul.
Kyle Galdera will be
that's fine. But that is the balance.
We will let Kyle go on his rant, and Alan. Kyle and Alan will go on their rant should they move past that March 2029 deadline. Yeah, we're balancing it.
The balance between those two and us. You have the Sunshine duo here, and then you have the other duo there. I wasn't sure like how to because they're not really like the rainy day because I don't know. They're actually
they're not
pretty
the rainy day.
They're pretty sunshiny too. It's just like they.
When it comes to governmental things, they're
they
very
err
much
on
like,
the side of caution. Let's say like
now
that.
you're just being too generous.
I'm being political, for them. Sorry.
This is just like,
it's our last day. You can't
It's
have
our last
fun.
day.
Can't have
No.
fun. Gosh.
this is no fun radio, Paul.
Golly.
We need to be
That's why
serious.
we're leaving terrestrial so we can have fun. 'Cause we've never had fun on this show.
Oh my gosh. You know what will be fun? And I'm going to put him on the spot now because I think
Who?
he's listening. Yep, he is listening.
Alan?
No, because I talked about
Kyle.
I talked about how in our new studio we can just start to call people live on the show.
Yeah, just call Alan right
No,
at
we're
this
gonna call
desk.
Ben Burr.
Oh my God.
Ben,
Oh.
we're gonna call you live during the show sometimes and just get your quick takes on stuff because things are gonna get crazy when we go over to just streaming only, and we will finally start to have a way to call people, and I think we're just gonna have too much fun with it. Because again, we've never been able to do that on this show, and we're going to be able to incorporate that when everything is fully built out. So maybe in like a week or two, we could just start calling up random people. And you know what, Ben, you're on the list of people that we're going to call randomly.
You just made the list.
You just made the list to get called by us. Ooh, we should decide on who our first phone call is going to be.
Oh gosh.
Although
It's
I
too
guess
much pressure.
I guess it might have to be Michael.
I guess in
It might have
theory.
to be Michael.
Maybe. We'll see. We'll decide that one.
All right, we're going to take a break and reset real quick. When we come back, we'll talk some Rainbow Wahine basketball and let you hear what coach and a couple of players had to say following last night's 67 win. 67-46 win over UC Davis. We'll be right back on the Hawai'i Sports Radio Network.
Wake up in the den with Ku'ulei Agbayani on the Hawai'i Sports Radio Network, 95.1 FM and AM 760.
Welcome back to Wake Up in the Den. Ku'ulei Agbayani and Paul Brecht on the Hawai'i Sports Radio Network. Final time on AM and FM, and we are going to be completely streaming on hawaiisportsradio.com. Or you can always listen back on demand wherever you get your podcast. We're streaming live on our YouTube channel right now, special live stream. We might have to pause next week, Monday, for our YouTube live stream, but I'm pretty sure we will be back the following week, or maybe the latter part of next week back on our YouTube as well. So we encourage everyone to come on board and join us in this new transition over to a fully digital platform. But we're still planning to bring you, again, the morning show. And then our friends on VSiN will be our 24-hour national programming still. And we are still planning to bring you HPU and OIA play-by-play throughout the rest of this sports season, and then still picking it right back up next sports season as well. So a lot of stuff, including, but the final HPU, or the final play-by-play game, or I guess games, on terrestrial radio that you will be able to hear is tomorrow. The HPU versus Chaminade softball game doubleheader begins at noon. Still available on your radio dial and on the previous streaming link. And then starting March 1st, it will be a completely different format on your current stations here for your radio. So come on, HawaiiSportsRadio.com. No name change, because we're still going to be radio. We're just changing the game of radio. And I think that's what I've always been, I always wanted to kind of be like the forefront of stuff, and I feel like we've done a very good job. Our team has in doing that with a lot of things. But now we're taking an entire industry and
we're just swapping
taking it this way. So it's going to be exciting.
It's going to be a good time. Like you said, it's funny because we're talking about it as though it's this big, massive change. And to be fair, it is a big change in a sense, but in terms of what we do, what we bring the beautiful people, or try to bring the beautiful people, things don't really change at all. In fact, things might actually kick up another gear in bringing more to the beautiful people. So yeah, just follow along at HawaiiSportsRadio.com. Follow us at Hawai'i Sports Radio Network, HI Sports Radio on socials. I don't know. Things are changing, but what's the old adage? The more things change, the more they stay the same. It's kind of what we've got right here. The more they're changing, the more we're still staying the same and bringing you all your favorite Hawai'i sports and a little bit of other conversation here and there.
Yeah. All right. Want to get into some UH women's basketball now. The Rainbow Wahine. I mean, if there is any way to redeem your close loss in Bold Week on the road to a team on Senior Week, that's what you want to do. And what we saw last night, 67-46 over UC Davis last night. I mean, talk about pure dominance and talk about putting together a complete game, right? Not having a lackluster second quarter that we have seen way too often from this team. That is actually their second best quarter in terms of scoring. But man, and then you just pedal to the metal down the stretch, putting up 25 points in that fourth quarter to close it out. My goodness, outscoring the Aggies 25-13 in that final quarter. And when one of their usually very, very chirpy and quite the attitude players that we were used to seeing on UC Davis
last night,
there was nothing she was saying that entire game.
She suddenly seemed to be much
Although,
less
you had
verbal.
the three former players there that are on that baseline, and shout out to Kelsey Imai, and then you had Ashley Toms, and then you have McKenna Hare there that was there. So they're all there. McKenna is on the Spectrum broadcast, but when there's play-by-play, they're not on air. So you had the three there. Kelsey, we were like, is she gonna get a technical? But
so funny.
And then we brought up Ben. You just have the encouragement of cheer really loud. I don't know what I was more entertained by was the game, which was very entertaining, of course, or watching the former players cheer on their some of their former teammates, and then just cheering on the program itself. It was entertainment all around, and just a dominant performance by the Rainbow Wahine. They looked phenomenal. Bailey looked great. I mean, Curdy too. My goodness, we said it in the beginning of the season that the talent is there, and we'll hear Coach Beeman kind of echo the same sentiment in just a little bit, but we've said it, and we really saw it last night, Paul, where we were talking about how this team is filled with a bunch of individually talented players for sure, and that they were going to put together a very exciting form of basketball. We saw that last night. This is a Curdy, her dribble drive and just going up and through traffic, though, and then their ability to move the ball a lot quicker, find the open shot. It was just beautiful performance all around, and which is why they came out with such a big win over a high-quality women's basketball team. UC Davis, there's a reason why they have constantly been at the top. They're a very, very
for first
good
place going into
they're
this
a very
game.
good program. And for the Rainbow Wahine to do what they did last night, I mean, it was so fun and beautiful to see it all come together like it did last night.
This was a statement. And I don't mean like, sometimes you hear that and you're like, oh, a statement, like, oh, everything's got to be so dramatized and so dramatic for the radio and blah, blah, blah. But what I mean by a statement is that this is a statement of growth for the Rainbow Wahine, not necessarily a statement of, oh, we've arrived and I thought that already happened. You did that when you beat UC Irvine. That was your statement of, all right, we've arrived. This was a statement of the growth that this team has taken over the past 3 months, because at the opening of Big West play against UC Davis, this team completely crumbled down the stretch. This team looked like they had never played in a close basketball game before. They looked like they just, when the going got tough, they were not going to have it. And in this one, it's not like it wasn't competitive. It's not like this game wasn't in single digits in the second half at some points. They stepped on the gas after halftime. They played a full 40 minutes. Bailey Flevel, all of a sudden, she, despite starting out, I think she was one of her first 7, and then she made her final 3 shots plus 2 extra free throws. She also grabs career-high 8 rebounds. She also dishes out 2 assists and probably could have had some more. Her defense, I thought, was great. Like, the growth that she has taken. Kiara Curtis, I mean, Curdy is just... What more can you say?
Oh, my gosh.
You have 2 star guards as freshmen.
Yes.
2 star freshman guards. That's so awesome, and they're only getting better. It's been great to see. The posts have continued to look more and more comfortable, more and more healthy. Sanaya Neverson, it was her turn on this night, and that's something else where it seems it's not the same big each night, but one of your 3 bigs every single night is giving you a pretty remarkable performance offensively, and all 3 of them have been great defensively over this past, 2-month stretch, 3-month stretch in general, because last night, I mean, Megan Norris was the one that I was worried about for UC Davis, the big, who is just, she's, Coach Beeman talks about it in the postgame. She's a player of the year type of candidate in the Big West. She, I think over her past however many games, been averaging like 15 rebounds per game, and she's been scoring a high clip as well. She took like 2 shots in this game, I think. 4 shots might have been. Well, she scored 5 total points. Like, she was essentially a non-factor.
Yep.
And that's a credit to the defense of the Rainbow Wahine Bigs and the Rainbow Wahine in general to completely neutralize her. I mean, I think she had a bucket in each half. That's just about it.
And I remember one of the buckets in that second half, it was just a bad mismatch. They didn't switch over on defense, and that was it. But like you said, it's like they were able to lock down majority of the game, and it just shows there in the final box score when, you hold down someone like Megan Norris. All right, before we continue talking about this, want to let you guys hear what Coach had to say post-game following that nice win and dominant performance, 67-46 over UC Davis last night. So we'll hear from Coach Beeman and her initial thoughts following that game, and then you'll hear a little snippet from Sanaya Neverson, and I think there's one clip there with Kiara Curtis as well. So here it is.
Very different from the first time we played them. Took care of the ball much better in the second half. I thought the ball movement, particularly in the fourth quarter, was outstanding. That's a really, really good team. And to be able to move the ball and kind of do what we wanted to do, particularly in the second half, was really fun to see. When we had better shot selection, they weren't able to leak out in transition defense, and we were able to defend them in the half court very, very well. Megan Norris is, a player of the year candidate, and what Amani and Nye, Tori are able to do on her was fabulous. So great adjustments in the second half, but we just need to continue to grow. This is the right time to be peaking, and hopefully that's where we are. They've always been capable of doing it. It was experience. We said that from the get-go, that the individual talent on this team is very fun. It's impressive. They were able to do a lot of things in high school that you're not able to do at this level. And it just was a learning curve. It was never selfishness. It was just they needed experience. Now with some experience and the same wonderful individual talent that these guys have, I think people see what we can do with the ball, both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively.
How much did that December 4th matchup kind of linger in your mind this week in the lead up for the players, just in the preparation?
I feel like, we thought about it, obviously, like we knew that that's the reality of what happened the first time. But I mean, we were such a different team from when we last played them, so it was like kind of just stick to what we do kind of vibe.
And Coach, could you talk about the importance of playing all 40 minutes in this one? Because it's not like you guys didn't play well at times in that game, but this one was truly just 40 minutes. It felt like a foot on the gas.
You know, it was, I think for us as a staff, it was a wake-up call that we needed to coach this group a little bit differently, that we were going to have to really rely on the experience that was going to come. And, you know, we had to be more solid in what we were doing. So there was no way that this wasn't going to be a 40-minute ball game for this team. You know, when we were up by 21-22, we knew the press was coming. We've worked the press a lot. We're going to see a lot of pressure on Saturday. There wasn't going to be a situation where we took bad shots, where we did not take care of the ball. Just a very different team with a very different goal.
Coach, quickly, sorry, could you just speak to the overall growth of Bailey's game? We always knew she could score, but it seems like now getting involved, rebounding. He talked a little bit about the kickouts on driving and drawing a few. Just seems like all of a sudden the game has slowed down a little bit more for her.
It's her reads. You know, she's always been able to do what she's doing now. It's just she had to see the read. She had to understand that when she draws 2 and 3, she's done her job. Now find the open person, and I think she's enjoying knowing that teammates can hit threes. She can get these assists. She had 8 boards tonight. I think she's enjoying her growth also, because she's like, whoa, it makes my game easier, because then she's open to do other things. So again, never selfish with these guys. Just needed experience, need to understand the reads, just need to continue to grow. This kind of energy tonight is contagious.
Yeah. Very contagious.
Great.
Hope you guys come out tomorrow night for senior night as Hawaii hosts Cal State Fullerton. Again, looking at these standings right now, Hawaii just on the outside of getting into that 4 spot, which would award them a first round bye in the Big West Conference tournament. Hawaii sitting just behind Cal State Fullerton, 11-6 in conference.
Man, if only we played them.
I know. Fullerton at 12-5. UC Davis 14-4, UC San Diego 14-3, and UC Irvine at the top there at 15-2. So yes, Cal State Fullerton, a big, as if it already wasn't a big game, because it is senior night tomorrow, and we're celebrating 3 seniors, especially Imani Perez, who has been here the longest. This is a big game with a lot of implications on here, because when you look at the top standings, Hawaii, the only thorn in Hawaii's side this season that they weren't able to beat in terms of these top teams ahead of them is UC San Diego, but hard to beat a team 3 times, so should they have to face in the tournament, then it could go in Hawaii's favor. But nonetheless, they were able to avenge that loss that they had in Bowls Week against UC Davis in dominant fashion, as we were just talking about. But now the next test is a very, very stingy Cal State Fullerton team who they barely lost to, again, also in Bold Week, just like UC Davis. And now that it seems like they were able to deal with that high-pressure defense from the opposing team, right? UC Davis starting to press, and it didn't seem to bother Hawaii one bit. And they have matured past kind of getting flustered, as young players do. So Cal State Fullerton, when we go back to when Hawaii played them the first time, they're press heavy. They put a lot of pressure on you, and they don't go away. They just have a very, very good and pesky defense. So now that Hawaii has been able to have this type of experience with these young players, it's going to be very, very interesting tomorrow, especially showing what they could do against another top team in UC Davis. So again, avenging that loss, they were able to beat UC Irvine once as well, and UC San Diego. Our eyes are on you in the postseason. But Cal State Fullerton coming into town, and should Hawaii win this game, they are going to be ultimately in control of their own destiny, because Riverside and Long Beach, difficult to win road games, but on paper, Hawaii is definitely a better team than both those teams. So if they take care of business against Fullerton tomorrow, then first round bye. Here we go.
Yeah. I'm nervous. I won't lie to you, just because Fullerton is by far the best team in the conference when it comes to forcing turnovers, better than UC San Diego, better than Irvine, better than Bakersfield. Like, they just create a level of chaos that is uncomfortable for teams. So it will be incredibly important for the Rainbow Wahine to show the same type of growth that we saw on Thursday, on Saturday, because like you mentioned, it's kind of a control your own destiny scenario now for the Rainbow Wahine. If you want a first round bye in this one, all you got to do is keep on winning. You lose one, you're not getting it. If you win out, if I'm thinking about this correctly, I think there's still an outside chance at potentially the 3 seed, because Davis could still lose 2 games, albeit I don't see them losing to Long Beach State. They could, in theory, lose to Long Beach State, and then they play UC Irvine to close out the regular season. Should you have the tiebreaker over Fullerton, 6 losses.
Fullerton has to play at UC San Diego.
Exactly. I don't think it's out of the realm to climb all the way up. I think they're just focused on potentially getting that first round bye, though. They're mostly just focused on avenging one of the few losses that they haven't yet, and that is a Fullerton team who, like I said, very, very good defensively, very, very sound with the basketball. It'll be important for Hawaii to play well on both ends, take care of the ball, force some turnovers for themselves, make it a little bit easier on themselves tomorrow night.
Yeah, and we talked about this the other day, too. I think the ideal situation is getting one of the first round buys, because even if Hawaii, like, something crazy happened and they snuck into the top 2 and got a double bye, I just don't think that would bode well for them in the postseason, considering this team, or a main part of their starters and majority of this team has no experience playing in that arena in Henderson, Nevada. And from my experience there, the lighting is a lot different than it is in the Stan Sheriff Center and in other away arenas or places that they play in the Big West. And also the depth perception is, like, it's big compared to anywhere else. So you could see some of the Hawaii teams in the past struggle with some of that as well. Like, it takes them a little while to get the shooting. So if Hawaii can at least get and play a quarterfinal game against who could likely be maybe a lesser opponent, hopefully not UC San Diego right away, but however it works out, that is going to be ideal, I think, for Hawaii. And at the same time, if you're not having to play all of those days and win, 4 games to look at the championship game, to win a championship, I think being able to play the 3 and then hopefully come out on top at the end and winning that 3rd game they'll be hoisting the trophy in the end. But it's not like they don't have the talent to do it. We saw that last night on display. It's just a matter of making sure they could play those complete games and against better opponents and not get flustered, especially tomorrow. So it is a big-time game tomorrow. Hope you guys come out. I know there's also still baseball going on as well, but go back and forth. Softball.
Everything.
So come on over, though. It is senior night again tomorrow evening at Banco Arena at Stan Sheriff Center for Rainbow Wahine basketball, with a big-time game with huge playoff seeding implications on the line tomorrow, because after that, again, they still got to go on the road and take care of business. But these last 3 games, Cal State Fullerton is by far the best opponent that they will face. So,
with love and respect.
Yeah, we'll see what happens tomorrow. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be back on the Hawai'i Sports Radio Network.
Back to more Wake Up in the Den with Ku'ulei Agbayani on the Hawai'i Sports Radio Network, 95.1 FM and AM 760.
Welcome back to all of you, the beautifulest of all the beautiful people. It's Wake Up in the Den, Kule Agbayani and Paul Brecht on the Hawai'i Sports Radio Network for the final time on 95.1 FM and AM 760. But continuing on strictly digital only, hawaiisportsradio.com and wherever you get most podcasts. And we are streaming live on our YouTube channel right now, and we will continue to do YouTube live streams into the future. Might have to pause next week, Monday. You know, we usually stream regularly on Mondays, but as we fully transition into our new space, might be a little bit of a pause next week, but anticipate that we will be able to pick it up again either later in the week next week or the following Monday for sure. Everything should be good to go. So it's an exciting time for us here, and again, we hope to see you guys still joining along with us on the ride. I know I keep getting questions, like when I was at the arena last night, I got questions from a former colleague, and I'm like, yeah, so funny that, like, I don't know, but I kind of like that. I like that we are disrupting and starting something so new because, and I appreciate everyone's concern, I guess. Like when people ask me about it, it's like they ask from a place of like pure worry, and I'm over here like, guys,
cool.
This is like really exciting actually. And we do, and I understand that we do have to take a, as Paul made such a perfect reference to, we do have to take a Rich Hill approach to it all, where all will be revealed because we're not completely done and I can't share all the details like exactly just yet. So all will be revealed. So I understand everyone's concern, and I appreciate it actually, like that they are genuinely concerned about us. But we are not concerned. Let's just put it that way. And we are very, very much excited. Definitely more. I mean, the only concern I have is the fact that we possibly won't be able to be live on Monday. Like, that's literally my only concern. Other than that, it's like I'm excited for continuing on and who we're going to prank call during the shows when we get there.
I am long on the record, regardless of sport or life or whatever it is. I'll let you guys know when to worry. I'll let you know when to panic, when things are not okay, when it's really doomsday, time to hit the red button. Till then, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys worrying about us. Enjoy the ride with us. We will be okay. We hope. We think.
We will.
No,
anyways, you know who will be okay?
More than okay.
Paul.
Dun-dun.
Tell the beautiful people what they may have missed with our friends at the HPU men's basketball team. Woohoo!
Dun-dun, 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 dun-dun. HPU finally, the men's basketball team clinches a spot in the Pac-West tournament. Second time in 3 seasons under Jesse Nakanishi. They get win number 50 for head coach Nakanishi. Congratulations to him. A fun little video on social media if you want to check that out from HPU men's basketball. And it's a very fun, a very important one. They upset Point Loma last night at Point Loma, which... I should give the score. 91-84, your final from Point Loma in San Diego. Their 31 points from Joshua West, a season high. He goes 11 for 13 from the field alone. Adds 6 rebounds, 3 steals, 3 assists as well in just 31 minutes of work. For those of you who maybe aren't as good at math, that is 1 point per minute that he played. 31 points, 31 minutes.
Wow.
He was excellent. Josh Niasulu puts up a career high 19 points as well. He was impressive, strong, knocked down all 9 of his free throws. I know that's near and dear to your heart and how important that is. And by the way, I mean, 9 for 9 from the free throw line. Note that they won by 7. So he makes all 9. I guess he misses. Could have missed 7 of them, whatever. He didn't. He helped him win. A couple of other guys finishing double figures. Quentin Meza, Quentin McCullough's, the Qs doing what they do. This was a massive, massive victory for a couple of reasons. One, it officially clinches a spot in the Pac-West tournament for the Sharks. Now they don't have to worry about whatever happens tomorrow against Concordia Irvine. They are in. It's not a win and you're in, lose and you're out scenario anymore. Those stakes out the window. That said, a win tomorrow might also help their case for a potential at-large bid to the NCAA tournament, the Division II tournament. in the most recent, the most recent rankings, checked in at number 9 in the West region. The top 8 qualify for the NCAA tournament. Obviously, one of those teams will be the team that ends up winning the Pac West tournament, most likely in one of Westmont, Point Loma, or HPU, though it is still pretty competitive, so still a lot more to figure out there. But massive win last night by the Sharks, taking care of business on the road to begin their road trip. And, it's nice to get one back. When Point Loma was here, we had that broadcast on our airwaves, a back-and-forth game, one that was ultimately won by the Sea Lions. And afterwards, if you're wondering why we're coming back and we're doing the shark fin here, after that game, Point Loma on HPU's court in the shark tank takes a team photo with the shark fin right in the middle, as if it's a taunt. And to be fair, to the victor go the spoils. You're allowed to do what you want to do when you win. Sharks made sure that they got their get back last night. They win on the road at Point Loma, and they, right at midcourt, strike the same pose. They posted it on social media. There's the inside. If you know, you know. Now you beautiful
Now
people
you know. So, again, huge congratulations to the Sharks. Again, much-needed win. Now, they don't have to necessarily worry, once again, in terms of making the tournament. They have now clinched at least a tournament berth. So, yes, they don't have to worry about that front, because we were talking about it, like, I don't know if we mentioned it on air, but off air, Paul, you and I were just like, man, if they can, it's make it or break it down this stretch of home. You're either in or you're out of the tournament. And if they were able to win their final game of the regular season, that has even more implications on what their future could look like and still remaining in this postseason. Point Loma, though, to their credit, is the regular season title winner. And man, I say that sigh because it's like the Pac West Conference tournament is hosted by Point Loma, so they are the home team for the tournament.
It's every year. It's unbelievable. To be fair, their facilities, as somebody who's been there, they are nice facilities. It's a great gym. It's a great place to call a game as a radio person, as a broadcaster in general. So. But otherwise, we hate Point Loma. Screw them. They're essentially Boise State.
Yeah. Boo.
Sharks up. Idiots. Take that.
Just gonna hang on it. But no, again, shout out again to head coach Jesse Nakanishi on win number 50 as well. And
halfway to the century mark.
Yes, best of luck in the postseason, because now they for sure have an opportunity to compete in the post. What happened to our Chaminade friends, though? They had a major drop-off. Like, I'm looking at the standings now, and they were all the way on the outside. And it's, to be fair, we had mentioned it was very, very jam-packed down the stretch of this final part of the regular season. But yeah, now that I look at the standings, I'm like, oh, they're like way outside of the top 6 in the Pac West. Sad face emoji.
Yeah. Chaminade won a lot of games that were close in the beginning of the year, and I think their luck ran out a little bit.
Got it. Yeah.
I don't think you can rely on winning every single one-possession game, because at some point the bounce, and that's just like a law of averages type of things.
Yeah.
At some point the ball won't bounce your way, and I do think they've had some bad luck in that sense. And as you mentioned, Pac West is packed right in the middle for those final few spots. They're not necessarily out yet.
No,
they win their final
crazy.
game. They win their final game, and then depending on how all of the other games shake out, the Sharks could potentially actually help Chaminade by beating Concordia Irvine, who is one of those teams still fighting for the final spot at 11-10 overall. It's going to take at least 12 wins to get in. Tough finish for them on a year that was pretty promising at the start.
All right, well, we got to take a break. We'll be back to wrap things up here for the final time on AM 760 and 95.1 FM. But you will still find us, as you can right now, on HawaiiSportsRadio.com and streaming live on our YouTube channel. We'll be back to close it out on the Hawai'i Sports Radio Network.
Wake Up in the Den with Ku'ulei Agbayani on the Hawai'i Sports Radio Network, 95.1 FM and AM 760.
Ku'ulei Agbayani and Paul Brecht closing it out here on the Hawai'i Sports Radio Network on this Aloha Friday / Aloha to Terrestrial Radio Friday. It has come to an end now on 95.1 FM and AM 760. And that's it. Again, we will still be here. We are still going to be doing this show, maybe change up the show a little bit, maybe change time slots. We're still kind of brainstorming some ideas. But like I said, I was mentioning earlier, the only thing that I am concerned or nervous about is that we might not be here live on Monday morning on hawaiisportsradio.com. But we'll definitely have a podcast version of the show at the very, very least as we transition into our new space on completely digital only. But once again, tomorrow afternoon, you will hear the final play-by-play broadcast on AM 760 and 95.1 FM with HPU softball versus Chaminade out in Sand Island. Kyle Galdera and Alan Mia with the call, presented by Hawaii Pacific Health. But after that, we are gone from terrestrial radio. Poof! Not on your AM or FM dial anymore. But as we've been saying, we encourage you guys, and we hope that you guys follow us along on our strictly digital platforms.
Yes. Sad, but also excited.
Yeah.
Like I said before, this is the end of a chapter, but not necessarily the book for us here. We're off terrestrial into the new streaming world, and this is kind of where we had jockeyed ourselves anyway as we started to go more and more on YouTube, as we've upped our digital content as it was. At some point, you grow and you need something a little bit new, and that is kind of what I'm looking at this as, where we get an opportunity to really, really kick it into overdrive and find a different way to make it the best for the beautiful people, because at the end of the day, that really is what our goal is. Yeah, we enjoy it. Like, I enjoy this job immensely. I cannot express enough how much I love talking to you guys each day, how much I love our text line. It gets me chuckling, and that's why I'm glad the text line will continue. It will not change. Once again, if you're just tuning in, it will still be 808-888-5481, still 808-888-KGU1, despite not necessarily being KGU anymore. But I'm excited. It's going to be a good time. I am glad, thankful, all of the positive terms for 95.1 FM, AM 760, what it has been for us as a home, especially for me, for my time here in Hawaii.
But it's kind of funny that you say that, because you don't listen to radio.
I was going to say, I don't have a working radio in my car, so this doesn't really change anything for me.
It is kind of fun, like, to hear Paul say that, because, again, there is kind of that, and just like for me, like, there is still that nostalgia side of it, and knowing that you are in people's, like, cars, I guess, and stuff, and people still tune in on radio.
They can randomly stumble across you.
Yeah, but, like, it's just a parting of ways with just a medium, right? Like, nothing else is, we're not planning to change anything else, and we could be stepping it up a little bit. But, yes, we will still, like, if we were parting ways with being able to bring play-by-play and being able to do this show and stepping away completely from sports coverage, like, I would be sobbing right now. Like,
the emotions would be a bit different.
And you guys know, actually, no, I never cried live on the show ever. Never one bit.
Not once in 5 years.
So if that was the case, it would definitely be a somber mood here. But it's not the case. And like I said, we're just excited that we can bring you potentially even more stuff, get a little more creative, make the show a bit more wonky than it already is. We will still obviously, like, be serious about certain issues that we need to talk about and follow all of the legislative stuff that's happening and everything like that. But we might be able to incorporate a little bit more fun stuff as well into the show. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to it. And again, it's not, we hope you guys that only listen on terrestrial radio, come along and come to the digital side. Once again, the new link will be hawaiisportsradio.com/live. Right now, you can only get VSiN, though. Again, the softball game won't be on that stream tomorrow, but for all of our dedicated listeners, especially those that do already listen only on stream, I just want to give you that early heads up where we will be. But on that landing page, we'll let you know if we're going to be live on Monday for that morning show. And yeah, just come in, hang out with us. We'll communicate with you guys as much as possible. Feel free to flood our text line if you want, and if you have questions,
even if you listen on demand as well.
Yeah.
Like if you listen to a show on demand, say listening to whatever show today, and shoot us a text about it. We have no issue, as you've probably noticed. We have no issue rehashing a conversation 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 304 times if we need to, or if we want to. So yeah, just keep with us, even if it's not live. I hope you still take us in from time to time.
Like I said, our new friend Shane has been phenomenal in this transition, and he is a big reason why I feel so confident about like where we're going, and I am looking forward to So I think that's the cool thing about what we've done at Hawai'i Sports Radio is that there's been a lot of instances where we have been kind of like the first to do things, especially, I mean, like the first woman in sports talk radio in Hawaii, like, and still full-time, the only one currently, if we're talking full-time show Monday through Friday. And we've like broadcasted, we put, I mean, you and I did like the Maui Invitational, right? Like, cause I look at the big poster here, and
the memories,
you know, that kind of stuff. I mean, girls flag football that we welcomed in last season. There are so many different things that we've accomplished, and I'm actually really looking forward to doing another milestone thing and another first in this industry. Well, more so in this market, and relatively new in the industry as a whole. So yeah, that's where I'm like, you know what? We're just continuing to kick butt and take names and be the first of first to do a lot of things here at Hawai'i Sports Radio.
Yeah, but until then, we'll just be hanging out up in the stars. That's where we are.
I had to play that for you. It's your favorite song.
I appreciate it. It is my favorite song. I had a smile the entire time it was on. It's where we'll be hanging out. I hope the beautiful people come join us there. But to 95.1 FM, AM 760, I bid you aloha
to everyone. And we're not on the broadcast tomorrow, so we are saying aloha to you guys for the last time once again on terrestrial radio. But stick around at hawaiisportsradio.com. But for now, we got to go. For Paul Brecht, I'm Ku'ule Agbayani. Mahalo for listening and watching. It's been Wake Up in the Den. Bye.
Your home for USC